Uh, there you go. And this call is really for us to talk about your journey so far. You're on entering week 6, right?
Mhm.
And you've got really good results so far. You've been extremely dedicated. Like, I'm always super proud to see your check-in, super proud to see your consistency when I look at your calendar. You seem to be really on point, which you told me you would be in the beginning. So I love that. And I was reading through your questions here. I see that you're also seeing some improvements, right?
Yeah.
What do you think you've been doing, like we've been doing right up until this point? What's working well for you?
Um, I think just the heavy, the heavy lifting, because that was really the missing piece for me. In the past with Orange Theory, even though we do have there's a 20-minute weight section, like it's almost encouraged to like go faster to get through more cycles or whatever, so I think
Yeah,
the just making myself lift heavy and rest in between.
that's good. That's good. And what have been your struggles or any challenges that you might have been facing so far?
Um, Really, the thing that is hard for me during the lift session is my grip strength. My legs, I feel like on the deadlift, like I might could even, I mean, I'm not saying I could do a lot more, but my grip strength is really difficult. Last night when I
Mhm.
was doing the sets of 10, and I could get through about 7 or 8, and I had to sit it down for just like a second breather, and then I picked it back up as soon as I could, but my grip was just, I was about to drop it.
Which exercise was that again?
On the Roman deadlifts,
Okay. And how much weight were you doing?
um, uh, I can't remember exactly, maybe 115. Yeah, 115, I think.
With the barbell?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's normal. That's normal because you seem to have, which is also normal for us women, to have a lot more strength in our lower body than we do in our upper body. So there's a disproportion there, which again is normal. And as time goes by, as you get more trained, you will get better at that. We might we might be able to include some exercises that help with that, but one simple thing that you can do is just a dead hang. Do you know what that is?
No.
A dead hang is when you go to hang yourself to do a pull up, you just hold yourself there. That's all you do. You don't
Okay.
try to do a pull up or anything. You just hold yourself there for however many seconds you can, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then you try to improve that week over week. Um, and it's not necessarily one exercise that you will implement every upper body, but like every time you're just walking around, hang yourself there and
Okay.
hold up, because that will help improving the grip strength.
Okay.
And if you need to decrease the weight a little bit and slow down the movement a little bit to help you out while you're building that strength, that's totally fine too.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And how is everything going with the nutrition side?
It's good. I still count like everything, even though you said that I didn't have to count like,
Yeah.
leafy greens and that kind of stuff. I still count it just because I'm used to it, and I like
Mhm.
seeing the fiber. And if I
Yeah.
don't include it in, then I can't get it. So I just
Yeah.
still count it.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's good.
totally fine. Yeah, totally fine. I typically just leave it there as a rule of thumb, because some people will get too overwhelmed with weighing and measuring everything. But yeah,
Mhm.
totally get it. You like, there's no harm in doing that at all. And yeah, it helps with the fiber count. You mentioned something about you tweaking your meal plan or your food plan for the week. I think it was on your check-in this weekend. Let me just double check here. Because I think you were kind of used of eating somewhat the same things, right?
Yeah, and it may have been like when I was gonna be doing restaurant outs, and I took your tip of trying to get my protein in, to when that then I would leave like the carbs and the fat, um,
Yeah.
for the restaurant. I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but it might have been something to do with that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here it is. Felt inspired, pretty guilty of eating the same things so often. And it was nice to change it up a little bit. Okay. It was this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were trying new recipes and stuff. Okay, good. Good. All right. So yeah, you've been pretty consistent, and I'm gonna share my screen with you just so you can see what I'm looking at here. Because you also mentioned the time frame for a trip, right?
Yes, and I'll be leaving at the end of September.
End of September. Okay. Where is the button? Jeez. I was just on a 1.5 hour call. So
Oh,
Zoom is kind of like, oh yeah, I know.
that's a long time.
Yep. All right, here it is. And I love that you sent me those pictures, because this is something that we definitely can see on the checking pictures every week. I love that. And we can see like that your legs in general are looking a little leaner, slightly leaner. Your midsection is a little bit leaner as well, if we look especially on the lower abs portion.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it seems that things are moving in the right direction. Um, with this new calories, how have you been feeling in terms of hunger? Because I know it increased a little bit, right?
Um, it really hasn't been bad, and I don't know if it's
Okay.
because, when I did Stronger You and I lost the initial weight loss, like I felt starving for a lot of that. And
Yeah.
I guess it was just because I had a bigger body, because
Mm.
the calories
And
then
the
were
deficit was bigger.
yeah, I was at 1750 there, and I don't know if it's just having, just weighing less, and so I don't need quite as much. And then a lot of times just the way that I naturally structure my steps, like my last walk with my dog is at night. And so
Mhm.
I think that probably curbs some hunger too, just moving your
Mm.
body and
Yeah.
making sure you're getting those steps in.
Hmm. Hmm. Definitely. Would you be up, and this idea just popped my mind, would you be up to at some point, I need to structure exactly when and how, but like to do one interview like this for our whole group, in
Yeah.
terms of you sharing your tips, your experience, because you have a lot of experience in tracking your macros, you lost weight, you maintained weight, which is even more important, and you seem to understand all the hooks, the ins and outs of tracking macros, and I think it would be extremely helpful to other members. So would you be
Yeah.
up for that?
Yeah. I'd be
Okay,
happy to.
cool. Nice, nice. Okay, so progress so far. Let's see, we started at 41.5 on your hips, 40.75 now. So it is decreasing. It is moving in the right direction. Definitely slower because now you do have way less body fat than before.
Yeah.
But a good result nonetheless for 5 weeks. How many Orange Theory sessions are you doing again?
I'm doing two
Two.
that I allow myself to like go up into the orange. And if I do a third one, then I make sure that I keep it in the green and blues, which is like more of a zone 1 and 2 heart rate, if that makes sense. To where it's
Yeah.
just like movement and just seeing people.
Yeah. So you're not pushing yourself that hard.
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Everything else is completed here. So your trip will be, let's see, we're on week
It'll
6,
be week
7,
10, I think, of
7,
the
8,
cut.
9, 10. It'll be here 11,
It's the
12.
25th, I think it's, or 24th or 25th when I leave.
Okay. And how long is the trip gonna be for?
I'll be gone for 5 nights.
Okay, 5 nights. 5 nights. And okay. So there's a very good chance that by then we already finished the fat loss phase. There's a very, very good chance. And you
Okay.
already be increasing your calories and going and starting a reverse. There's a good
Okay.
chance. If not, if we still see that there's a little bit of body fat that we can shave off, then we can use that week as a diet break.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll push hard until the week before, and then on that week we use it as a diet break. So you're still mindful and hitting your protein and doing all that, but you're going to be having a bigger budget in terms of calories, so that helps you with dinners and just having more flexibility. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so either way you're going to have a bigger budget to work with. I don't see the need to be too strict at that point. But again, it'll be based off on how your body's responding, and so far it is responding well to the cut. Again, not super aggressive because we want to maintain muscle mass as much as possible. And we're trying to do two things at the same time here. This is the second week with this new calories, so we're probably going to keep things as they are for the next couple of weeks. Observe how your body's trending, and then maybe do a decrease or maybe do a diet break depending on how your biofeedback is. How
Okay.
is things in the digestion side?
Oh, it's good. I'm very regular.
Yeah. Okay, good. Any stressors, anything sleep disrupted, anything in that area?
No, I've slept really well. And sometimes when the school schedule starts, like I don't sleep quite as well. I don't know if it's like knowing that I have to get up and get everybody, going early, but I've really slept well, and I've been mindful to like make myself put my phone down and go to sleep like right at 11, because
Good.
I'm a person that falls asleep really fast. Like I can fall asleep within just, 3 or 4 minutes. But I also, because of having babies, I get up at least once a night to go potty. And so if I have disrupted sleep, it's after that potty break at like 3
Mm,
a.m. or something. But I
mhm.
haven't had it in, I don't know, weeks. So I've slept good.
Okay, good. That's good. So sleep is okay, hydration is okay, digestion is okay. Recovering from your training. Are you feeling like ready to go on the next section, or are you still a little bit sore?
Well, I'm a little bit sore this week just because it's the first week doing the new exercises. So my back is sore today because I had workout 3 yesterday. So that was the first
Mhm,
of those workouts.
mhm.
And really what surprises me is, that the band, the hip abductor things where I sit down and like that made me really sore. And
I
I mean, not that
know.
it's easy, but you're like, oh my God, like, all these heavy weights and I get sore over a band. So anyway, that was sore. Last week was the band. And then
Good,
just
good.
doing the pull-ups, that's made my back sore. But other than that, I'm good.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, and do more pull-ups. Like you don't have to do only on the days that you train. Like I said, as you're at home, like you can walk around and just try it out. That will help. The more frequency, the better. And it helps with your grip strength as well. And then we go from there on the next progression. But the idea is for you to keep doing the banded pull-ups, get really good at them, and then move to eccentric. So focusing on the negative, doing really, really slow on the way down, and then on to unassisted pull-ups, unassisted chin-ups, and so on and so forth. So
Okay.
I can really see that happening really, really soon. Like you already did, how many that you did unassisted?
Just one. But I was super proud of that one.
Of course, that's the hardest one.
Yeah.
That's the hardest one. So I can see like over the course of the next week 5, so up until week 12, you should be able to do at least 3.
Oh, Okay.
going over that progression. Yeah. And always like keep playing around, like have fun with it. Like I said, you're walking around, just hang yourself there, try it out, and like don't get discouraged by not seeing strength increasing every single week, because that's not how it happens. Like it's a slow progression. And you'll
Yeah.
notice that as soon as we start to reverse diet you, as soon as you start eating more, boom, it's almost like night and day difference. Now, speaking of strength, now that you've dialed in your routine, your macros, your training, and all of that, and everything seems to be in a good place, what are the supplements that you are taking right now?
As far as pills, is that what you mean? Like that kind of thing? Or do
Yeah,
you mean like the protein powders?
everything,
Okay.
everything.
I drink one of the little Fairlife milk, what, I don't know what it's called, like, you know what I'm talking about, those little
Yep.
yeah, I drink one of those every day. And then I just got the Select Cake Pop protein powder, and I've been baking with that. I started following somebody on Instagram. You know, once you start like following fitness accounts, it gives you suggestions for other fitness
Yeah.
accounts. And so somebody that like cooks with it, because I've never really liked to just drink it, you know, like I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it tastes
Yeah.
that well.
Yeah.
But she puts it in a lot of recipes, and so I've been experimenting making like a monster cookie, and I made a cake and doing some things
Mm-hmm.
like that to try to help and to give myself a little sweet treat that I can kind of, you know, that's healthy or whatever. Because I in the past, when I first you know, kind of got serious about my nutrition, I didn't really I think I can kind of go extreme a little bit sometimes, and so I didn't want anything that was processed at all. And you know, and I feel like after, now that I'm years into it, I'm kind of like, okay, but you know, it's not that I'm never gonna
There's
eat. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you know,
There's a balance there.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I've relaxed a
It's
little
good.
bit on my rules, you know.
Good. Yeah.
But anyway, so I wanted to give myself a little something that was sweet that also had a good amount of protein to it. So anyway, I've enjoyed
That's
that.
awesome.
But other than that,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't take anything, you know. I took starting like in my probably at 20 years old, for 20 years, I took a multivitamin and fish oil
Mhm, mhm.
religiously. And then I read a book, you know, who knows if, but basically it said that if you are getting, you know, a lot of your micronutrients from your food, then basically you're peeing out your multivitamin. And so I just kind of quit taking it, because I felt like that, you know, being a plant-based person, I probably am getting a lot of that naturally. You know, I don't know how, I mean, I guess I could do some kind of blood test to know like exactly, but anyway, so I just quit. It frustrated me, I think, thinking of all the money that I had invested for 20 years in those things, and then to think, well, I might just be having expensive urine, you know? So
I
anyway,
see. I see.
so I stopped taking the multivitamin and the fish oil, and I just haven't ever added it back. And that was maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. Would you be open to some suggestions if that
Yeah.
would help your
Yeah.
performance? Okay. So since I know that you like researching and everything, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is to read through the supplement guides in the app, because I
Okay.
have guides on creatine, I have guides on omega-3, the fish oil, and some of the supplements backed up by science that actually works, that actually does what it's supposed to do. Even if you're having everything else from your diet, there are some things that are still beneficial, especially if you are strength training, especially if you are a very active person, which is your case. Most of the recommendations that we see, even from certain books, are more towards people who are not exercising, who are not lifting weights, who are not putting that added stressor to the body, so the body doesn't have that demand, the extra demand for those things. So read through the guides, just, with an open mind. I would suggest creatine. I know was going to suggest the fish oil, because that would be really beneficial for you in terms of just overall recovery. Creatine is the most researched supplement for strength, for muscle longevity, for brain longevity. So nowadays they're even recommending it to elderly people to treat Alzheimer's. So there's a lot of research to back that up. And now that you're focusing on getting stronger, building muscle over 40, there needs to be some supplementation there that can help you optimize and get even better results, not only physically, like looking aesthetically better, but also feeling a lot better. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So that would be my homework for you. And then go through that section, open the PDFs. Let me know if you have any questions. I do have a ton more resources and links and studies and things that if you want to dive a little deeper, I can share those with you. And then we go from there. And if you still think that it's not for you, then sure, I'll respect that for sure. But my job is also to educate you and to guide you through this process and show you what's available. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, perfect. So go through that. Let me know. Do you think that you can do that until the end of the week or the weekend?
Yeah, I'll look at that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Anything else that you'd like to share, Joanna?
No, my husband mentioned one thing that I don't know what you think about this, but when I was complaining about my grip strength last night, he was saying that he sometimes will take the bar and have one hand grip one way and the other hand grip the other way.
Mhm.
Do you think that
I do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, you could be.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
He thought it might help me as far as to be able to hold on to it longer.
And there, I don't know if you ever used grip straps for lifting. Let me send you the link just so you know. You can get those like for free at supplement stores. But where's the chat? This one's that you kind of wrap it around your wrists and onto the bar, and it helps with the grip. So that can be helpful too.
Okay.
Just when it's kind of slipping. Yeah. But yeah, what your husband suggested, totally fine to do.
Okay. Sounds good.
Totally fine to do. Yeah. And lastly, would you be okay if I ask you a few questions about the program so far? And if I need to share with other people so I can help other people, would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So first question is, where were you at in your fitness journey before joining my program?
I would say, I was at 24% body fat, and I was doing more of a cardio circuit type of training, and I probably was running and that kind of stuff too much, and I would probably have considered myself more on the thin side than, I mean, not that I'm not muscular, but I probably would have looked at me in clothing and just thought, oh, well, that's just a thin person.
And were you having any kind of struggles or challenge that made you reach out to me specifically? Like what made you reach out to me?
I felt like that I was that I had already, gotten as far as I was going to get on my own, and I needed the accountability to make myself lift heavy, because I knew it would be myself in the basement by myself doing it.
Mm.
Whereas going to a class or, that kind of stuff gives you the accountability, just with the surrounding and if you're paying a membership or whatever. But with us having the weight room in the basement, I knew it would be just me going down there. And if I didn't sign up for, a program, then I would be like, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it tomorrow. And I felt like that, I wanted to build the muscles in my on the back of my legs and my rear and stuff, and I wanted somebody that had done it to kind of just make sure that I'm doing it the way that they did it and the way that they recommend, and to just have the more program geared toward my goals versus just one that you see in a book or on an app or whatever.
And have you ever done any of those apps before?
No, I mean, I've done like, Peloton strength training, or,
Uh-huh.
you yoga with Adrian on YouTube, or, just those kind of just things like that. And then I followed that book. I think I sent you a screenshot of it. I followed that for, a long time, but I just would always, I would do it for 6 months and then I would quit. And then, I just didn't
Mhm.
I couldn't make myself continue to do it, because even though, I mean, there's always in the fitness industry on Instagram, they're always like, kind of poo-pooing cardio and whatever, and like saying, oh, I don't do any cardio, da, da, da. And I get that, but also, the pushing hard and the weight training is harder than the cardio. You know what I mean? So it's like, so sometimes it's easier to just go and run for 20 minutes. Like I would rather
Yep.
do that than lift up such, that's really
Yeah.
hard. And so I think that, I mean, and not that running a marathon isn't hard too, but it's just also lifting very heavy weights is very hard. And to make yourself do it, I knew I needed somebody that was gonna look at, to check my stuff weekly and that I had done it.
Nice. That's awesome. And what do you like about the program the most so far?
I like the calls you do on Thursday, even though I haven't logged in to see them live, but I listen to those, and like, I don't know why I'd never thought of this, but I think it was last week you were talking about putting the plate on the scale and then I'd never been doing that. I'm years into macros, and I've been like doing it per tablespoon or whatever, like, I don't know why I never thought just set the bowl there and then just add it to. So anyway, I like those because I think sometimes, you say things off the cuff that like hit me, that I'm like, why have I been doing it that way? And so I like that a lot. And I like that my training sessions are not just all leg focused or all arm focused or all, you know what I mean? Because by the time you get to the fifth exercise, like you're done. Like I just can't can't lift anymore. So I like that it's a little bit of balance every time. And I know, okay, I've got two really hard things up here, that I'm going to do on my legs, and then I'm going to shift and do some upper body stuff. So if I can just push really hard for these first, two, and then I can push really hard in a different area, and it'll get me through. So I like that a lot. Yeah, so I guess that's my favorite parts, is the calls and the structured of the workouts.
Awesome. That's awesome. I like that. And like, if you were to think of a person to join the program that could help, um, what would you say to that person?
Um, I
Let's
think that
imagine that this person is on the fence and kind of like on the sidelines and wanting to join, but
I think that, I think that a lot of women are scared of lifting weights heavy, so I think a lot of them, they just want to be like skinny, they don't really, they just want to be thin and so I guess I would get them to, you know, think about the people that they think look nice and like the reasons of why they look nice and, that kind of stuff. But I think that, and I think too, so many people think that they will gain the muscle really fast. So I think there's a little bit of an education process involved in that. But um, yeah, and I mean, I think too, just that as they got more in shape and got stronger and more muscle, that they could eat more.
That's a good reason for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. And yeah, who would you say this who would you recommend this program for?
I think just women that want to improve, that want to have accountability, that want a network of other people that are trying to do the same thing, and just somebody that that you can bounce ideas or theories or tell what you're struggling to, or get your form checked, all of those things. Just anybody that is looking for to go, I guess, next level, that what you can't do on your own or that you can't do in a YMCA cardio class.
That's awesome. And do you think it was worth it, the investment?
Yeah, so far.
Awesome. Awesome. Are you happy so far?
Yeah. And I think that, I like you said, I'm kind of a veteran as far as macro accounting. So I and that's the other thing is like I'm not unhappy with how I look now. And so I don't really care how long it takes, because I already
Mm,
feel good and I'm happy with, my size, and I'm happy in my clothes and all of that stuff. So it's fun to see the little changes and whatever, but it's not that I think some life altering event is going to happen in 12 weeks when this cut ends. It just might be,
yeah.
I just see a little bit of an improvement. And so I'm a person that just likes challenges and just likes to, you know, go to what's next or whatever. So for me, it's happy to see the changes, but also I just kind of like the journey, I guess,
The
if that's the
journey.
word.
I love
Yeah.
that. Oh my gosh, I just love that. Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's what it is all about. You have to
Mhm.
enjoy the journey, right? Because if you don't,
Yeah.
it becomes really, really hard. So yeah, thank you so much. This was
You're welcome.
awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. And don't hesitate, like feel free to shoot me a message anytime. Feel free to shoot a message in the group, however way do you prefer. I'm always here to support you, to guide you. This first 5 weeks has been amazing so far in terms of how we've been working together, communicating and everything. So keep up with that. If there's anything that I can do to support you further, always let me know. I'm here for it. I'm here to help. And you letting me know is the only way that I can really improve and do something about it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I said, my plans for you is to continue this cut for a few weeks longer, and probably reverse diet you to your trip, or give you a diet break and then push you harder after that. We'll still decide based on how your body responds, but keep crushing it. You're doing so great, like for a fifth week, and everything is on check always, everything is done always, everything is on point. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love it. And feel free to send me more form check videos. I'm always here for it. Anything that I can do to help you improve, I'm here for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate you, Drana, and have yourself a great rest of the day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.